go. Make sure we're live. Are we live? Let's see. Yes, we are. We are live. What's up, people? 1 second. Look at my phone here. 1 second. Look at my phone. Yep. We in here. What's up, guys? How you guys doing? Good to see you. Hope everybody's safe. Everybody's doing good. Say what's up to the chat. What's up, Jez? I see you, bro. Rob, Malik, Anton, Eddie, Six Eye, Chief, Loon. What's up? What's up? Gaminator, what up? Freeze Vamp, Painted Gamer, Robert, what's up? Bob, what up? Alright, so what you guys think we're gonna see today? I don't even have my hopes up super high. I saw Smooth, he was saying PS5. I'm like, I don't know about on PS5, but you never really know. What's up, Dallas? What's up, G? What's up, Crazy Old School? I guess I'll refresh this to maybe make it show us the screen. Let's see. Yep. Oh, they didn't start the event. Okay. Interesting. What's up, Death Singer? Shit. What's up? What's up? If this is for real Unreal Engine 5, that would be some bull. Oh, no. Game. Oh yeah, well we're I'm pretty sure he's live streaming it too, right? So he's more likely if it is something PS5 related, we'll just we'll link right up live here like we did last time. And talk about it. But again, I don't think PS5 is here. So let's see. To Die For, what's up, bro? This interview with Kojima leaked already. Is it really? No way. Might be the first time Engine 5 running on PS5. Could be. Well, if that's true, then that definitely doesn't match the excitement, or that doesn't match the, you know what I'm saying, what he was trying to say in the tweet. Like, he's like monumental. It's gonna be a monumental type of thing for today. If it is that, I'm gonna die laughing, to be honest with you, because it's gonna be like, Jeff, you just trolled the living hell out of everybody. What's up, East Texas? Say great to see you on RDX last night. Yeah, I had a blast, man. Had a blast. Thank you. Shinobi, what up? Timothy, what's up? My dude, Pencil, what's up? My hype levels, subpar. To be honest with you, it's about as par as this damn song they're playing to start this event. It's subpar. Nothing super high. What's up, Nathaniel? Resident Evil 8 announcement. Something for E3 eventually. Kojima and Jeff Keighley's house is monumental for him. True. That's true. What's up, Focus? The kid? Good to see you. Robert, he says, Big Cloud Dealer is a clone. No. Oh, God. You fool for that. What's up, Superior Artist? Good to see you, bro. Yeah, I seen it. The video series, The Finest. Thanks for the heads up. What's up, Sean? Made it sound like a PS1. Yeah, that's what I thought. Like, first he said, what's your favorite old school classic PlayStation game, or name a PlayStation game that you would like to see. So, like, I think he says name an old classic, right, that you would like to see come back, something like that. And immediately people are like Twisted Metal and things of that nature. Again, if that's it, that'd be a big announcement for him. Out of curiosity, how's the stream looking? Mind me asking to everybody in the chat. How's the stream looking? Herman Host just posted on his Instagram stating today is going to be a good day. Interesting. Destruction Derby. We good? Alright, cool. What's up, Aaron? Yeah, everybody up for this, huh? Everybody up. We'll see, man. Are they going to pull a Microsoft? Are they going to do... You know, I'll tell you right now. If it is true, what they're going to... This is definitely going to do nothing but add... this is going to add more credentials to Jeff Keighley. Because remember, he had the Xbox... At Xbox had his Game Awards show, right? Now, if they do PS5 here, boom, it is. Can you make the window bigger? Yeah, I can make it bigger. Yeah, I can make it bigger. Give me 1 second. Alright, so let's make it bigger. That's about just a tad bigger than that. Get jiggy with it.
Wonderful.
I didn't see my alerts. I don't know. Just is it though? You know?
World premiere.
No. What's up, Anthony? Exactly. Big clock game regardless. I plan to wait to Slim mono reps. Oh, you waiting a long time for a Slim, man. Ain't no Slim going to drop for PS5 or Series X until what, 4 years? Give or take into the console's life, 4 years, something like that. Yeah, cause I on it. Yeah, like 4 years. You'll get the more streamlined looked ones. So yeah. Hell, my PS4 right now, which is the eraser one, right? The standard one with the glossy finish. I still got the day one edition, and I'm right there. I guess you can say is like a relic in this current space, because nobody hardly is nobody hardly has those in the house now. They either traded them in for the more refined versions. It's crazy. I never had an issue with the day one edition. Not even the PS3, the original fat one with that had all the ports and stuff like that. Or that one, I never had an issue with that one. Funny about it too, though, you can actually see the difference in quality in terms of how that console's built, though, from the OG, like the original PS3, from the silver, etching and stuff like that on the console, to like this more plastic finish on the new ones. So, nope, shows didn't even start yet. We got 13 minutes, Billy, so you are just in time. What's up, Storm Rider? Do you realize this is 80s music? Because GTA 6 rumor takes place in 80s. Is GTA 6? Nah, you ain't gonna see, bro. You ain't gonna see GTA 6. I'll be shocked. I don't think you'll see GTA 6 for another 2 years, give or take, man. Another 2 years. And granted, I did read a lot about GTA 6. Like, they're pushing like this old mafia story. It looks like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're going like it feels like they're trying to mimic The Godfather, but it has like other elements in it, like from like Vice City. It feels like. So they got my money regardless. They got my money regardless on that. Bro, you have epic levels of control with your composure going into dealer's podcast with a constant control. Hats out to you, better man. So we pretty much dissected the whole Ubisoft thing with the 60 frames issue. Like, they should have had 60 frames on the game, or they should have prioritized it in general. Now Ubisoft saying again, we're not. They're like, bare minimum it runs at 30, but they're basically covering their ass by saying that comment. And Aaron Greenberg didn't really, to be honest, he didn't really help the situation with his recent tweet, because he said that we're not putting a mandate on 60 frames per second at all. And when he said that, I was like, oh no, you know what I'm saying? So this is only the tip of the iceberg. Basically, you're gonna see a lot more 30 frames per second games for sure. I can see more now. I honestly can see more. What's up, Blue? Resume. What's up, Swag boy? What's up? Get smoked. What up? Yeah, Vice City was fired. If it's a collection or a remaster, would that be disappointing? Depends on what it is, but for it to be monumental, it would have to be huge. And right now, I can't think of a single game that'll have that type of thing. Loon says, "Hey, BitCloud, much respect here. You on Marlon's podcast? I appreciate it, bro. Thank you." Why we can play them at 30 when God of War runs at 30? Because it's next gen. We have two capable machines that can push 60. Easy. Easy. And granted, remember, developers blamed the CPU for this gen, and that's the reason why we got so many that's why we got so many first and third party games running at 30. You see what I'm saying? Now the issue is no longer there. So I'm just saying, like, there's no issue. There's no reason for them not to have it. Dutch and Predator, I think I'm going to jump into that game. Hey, I see you. I know. I already know you is. I wonder if they dubbed his lines into the game. Does he actually talk, or maybe just a camel? Big Cloud, bro, had that inside. It's been a Sony show. The X-Men, whatever. I mean, yeah, and two.
And we are 10 minutes away from the showcase event, live streaming around the world. I'm so excited to share this with you. We will see you in 10 minutes for today's live stream as part of Summer Game Fest. Thanks for tuning in. See you in a few.
No, I'm sorry. That was Jeff Gilly. I had to stop. But so we roasted that show for the most part. I mean, the Inside Xbox show wasn't really that bad. The only thing that really killed it was the AC, gameplay not being there. Because let's be real, we tuned in for that, and also a lot of the other games. Again, they kept saying gameplay. We didn't see nothing. So hardly any. We saw small snippets in between cutscenes. You see what I'm saying? That's not how you build the hype. Yeah, you missed it, Billy. It was good. I was on it. Go check it out. Come on, go check that out. Also, another funny thing about it too. Yesterday's show. So yeah, I remember the dude from Inside Xbox. I forgot his name. It's funny. I just remembered. I forgot. But you remember he was like the only black dude on the cast, and he was always hyping up the show. He was on the show with us as well, so that was cool. That was cool talking to him. Yeah, I forgot his damn name. Is this a PlayStation event? Some people are saying a lot of people think it's PS5, so hence why I changed the background thing, or hence why the thumbnail has the blue, border. It could be, could not be. It could very well be. My expectations are very, very low. I want to see a Resistance Trilogy remaster. I don't think I'll get that, though. Oh, you're going to get Resistance. Resistance Trilogy remake. I don't think it's remaster. I think it's remake. That's happening, bro. Wow. The reason why I say that, Insomniac Games, aside from Spider-Man, has been literally they kept showing screenshots of the game, you know what I'm saying? And then they would put put messages behind it like, "Hey guys, do you remember this gun?" They were showing off the auger, the bullseye, and then they were showing deep close-ups of the Chimera in the first one. I'm telling you right now, they remake the first one just the way it was from PS3, right? Same dialogue, the same woman narrating the story, showed the little, the black and white effect, showed the screenshots. I think that shit would be fire. I'm telling you, that'd be amazing. And they prioritize 60, bruh. It's a wrap for that one. That's day one. Well, I actually, honestly, yeah, they do think that, and I kind of almost think that too. I'm actually getting that vibe they probably would approach that, Craig. Because think about it, Xbox Game Studios, now we got PlayStation Studios, you know what I'm saying? And they're saying that they want that to be on their game so that you can distinguish what is their first party from their third party. Even though a lot of us who are informed, we know what the first party is, a lot of the casuals don't know, you know what I'm saying? And that's their way of doing it. So I can actually see them doing it eventually. Pushing PC for sure. But like I said before, even on that show, the defining game of that is going to be Horizon Zero Dawn. But a lot of people think it's going to be bigger than that. So we'll see. We'll definitely see. Yeah, there he is. Ricari Austin. That's his name. I don't forgot his damn name. That's how bad I am. Do you know if you heard... anything about a new Matrix game in the future? Matrix? I haven't heard a single thing about Matrix. I don't think we'll get, actually, let me stop, because you might get a Matrix game as a movie license, because, they're making a new Matrix movie, Matrix 4. For those of you that did not know, yes, they're making Matrix 4, and Keanu Reeves, Carrie-Anne Moss, aka Trinity, she's coming back, but one vital person is not coming back, supposedly, and that's Lawrence Fishburne. Yeah, so I'll let you guys digest that. I saw that too. They did another screenshot 2 days ago. Yeah, you're gonna get that remake. I'm telling you, definitely. Or I'm sorry, Ryan, you're gonna get that. Nathaniel, are you playing Tekken later? Yeah, I'll play a few rounds with you. No, I'll play a few rounds. Sorry to get the collection nowadays. I mean, it's their first party. They can get the collection, but it's hard to do it for third party companies as much. You know what I'm saying? Because usually it's funding required. But when it's first party, you can do whatever you want with your collection wise. You can do that easy. Bro, the first Resistance. I remember when I first got that. Like, you remember in the intro, the first mission where like the helicopter gets shot by the projectile and it falls, and dude's like, "You follow me." You're running. I remember that whole scene. There was just so much, like, I wasn't even paying attention that much to the Chimera, even though they look sick. You shoot them in the oxygen tank in the back. I didn't even pay that much attention to them. I was looking at the environment so much. I was that blown away by it. I would love to see how that game will look in today's time now. And that game came out so long ago.
Today we prepared an exciting announcement for you all.
Jeff's crazy. Future platforms like PS5 Pro, PS6, and 7. I mean, obviously they already trademarked PS6 and 7. They already trademarked those. But I'm saying, don't be surprised when you see something like that on PC. Because remember, again, it just shows, even in the intro, when you boot up any first party game, they're basically telling you you're going to see that logo that says PlayStation Studios. You know what I'm saying? And when you load that on a PC, that's going to be their branding. So I can see them actually doing it. Not sure if they're going to have a launcher, though, on PC. That's another thing, too. But we'll see. What's up, Envy? Rise of Zero Dawn on PC is a day one cop for me. I'm on my third playthrough on PS4. Yeah, game was dope, man. Can't wait to see part 2. And you already know the ending to that, so you already know how much crazier that's gonna be from the tone they set up. Can't wait to see Ghost of Tsushima gameplay tomorrow. Facts. We're gonna be back here for that too. I got you covered. We're all gonna be watching that live. Not interested in a Matrix game. Well, that's a big L without Lawrence, right? Yeah, it's weird. So looking forward to tomorrow. What's up, Dawn? I didn't even see it. What's up? Hope Sony brings Resistance. What could it be? Oh, there they go.
Hello,
Unreal.
I'm Brian Karras, Technical Director of Graphics here at Epic Games.
Hi, I'm Jérôme Plateau, Art Director of the Special Project.
A few years ago, we got together as a team and brainstormed where we thought we could push forward state-of-the-art and real-time graphics. There were two key areas that stood out. The first, dynamic global illumination. Beautiful bounce lighting instantaneously.
I don't have to be constrained to do a game where the world has to be static, and I'm able to iterate a lot faster.
And we call this new system Lumen. We're about to show you what it is capable of. But first, there was another area that we thought we could push forward. Truly virtualized geometry. The artist wouldn't have to be concerned over poly counts, draw calls, or memory. We could directly use film quality assets and bring them straight into the engine.
And that's a big deal for artists. I just want to be able to import my ZBrush model, my photogrammetry scan, my CAD data, without wasting any time optimizing, creating LODs, or even lowering the quality to make it hit frame rate.
In the end, that's what it's all about. Art that just works. And we call this new technology Nanite. Here is the future of Unreal Engine running live on a PlayStation 5.
Awesome. Let's take a look at it.
This has to be the right way.
Oh, we got actual gameplay, guys. Okay.
Before we continue, let's stop a moment and take a look at some of the key features of this demo. Much of what you see was built with Quixel Megascan assets, but instead of using the game versions, we used the cinematic versions, which would typically only be used in film. There are around 1 million triangles each, and thanks to virtual texturing, they all use 8K textures as well.
Now you guys see
can
why
render an
we
insane
hype
number
up
of
the
triangles
AI.
very
I'm
quickly.
sorry, let me stop.
There are over 1 billion triangles of source geometry in each frame that Nanite crunches down losslessly to around 20 million drawn triangles. What does that many triangles look like? This isn't noise. These are the triangles, each a different color. Most
Yeah.
are so small that they look like noise. Nanite achieves detail down to the pixel, which means triangles are often the size of pixels. This amount of geometric detail requires shadows to be pixel accurate as well, and Nanite can do that too. Speaking of lighting, all of the lighting in this demo is completely dynamic, with the power of Lumen that even includes multi-bounce global illumination. No light maps, no baking here. Without GI, all of that beautiful lighting is gone. With Lumen enabled, we can move the light and the bounce changes instantly.
Oh, that's sick. Okay.
Okay, let's keep going.
So now you see why we hype up the I/O throughput. Remember how PS5 can handle 5 gigabytes of data? There you go. Possibilities like this.
Reverb allows us to measure reverberation characteristics of real spaces, like actual caves that we sampled, and reproduce them in virtual spaces. Sound field rendering allows us to record and playback spatialized audio. All of this adds up to a more immersive experience.
Wow.
This swarm of bats was created with our Niagara effects system. Particles in Niagara can now talk to one another and understand their environment like never before.
Okay. But you see why we talked about the
Also
I/O
added a ton of
throughput.
new
You see how much
functionality
data is being
to
handled
run
here,
fluid
guys?
Simulations like you see in the water below.
Imagine that with first party. We're just scratching the surface for the next gen. Question is though, are they targeting 62? That is a good question.
The demo runs on our chaos physics system. Here we are using it to accurately simulate the rigid bodies of the falling rocks and the cloth of her scarf.
Are y'all seeing how seamless this is? There's no jump or no judder when he jumps to the platforms. Remember how we had that with this gen? Like certain times you see it. There's nothing like that. The game automatically has already processed it before it even happened. It's that seamless.
Now that the environment is so complex, we've needed to greatly improve our animation systems to adapt. We've added predictive foot placement
Gorgeous.
and motion warping, which dynamically modifies IK and body position to look more natural. For the character to more realistically interact with the environment, we've added the ability to trigger seamless contextual animation events, like her hand on the door.
Sounds promising.
Yeah.
Dynamic GI is amazing, not just for speeding up iteration, but also for its impact on gameplay.
Nice.
Any light
Looks-
source can move while
it
still
might
having
be.
beautiful bounce lighting. Dynamic
Dude, look at the
illumination
scarabs.
means specular as well, which you can see on all the metal surfaces. You can even see the Niagara-powered bugs reacting to the light.
Yeah, it's on PS5, Malik.
Lumen not only reacts to moving light sources, but also changes in geometry.
Bro, look at the scarabs. Y'all see how the scarabs naturally are reacting to the light like it
Remember we
burns?
mentioned high poly assets? This statue was imported directly from ZBrush and is more than 33 million triangles.
Wow.
No baking of normal maps, no authored LODs.
No pixelization or ghosting. That's awesome, man. Holy shit.
And we can do more than a single statue. There are nearly 500 of that exact statue
What's
at
up,
the same
Merc?
detail level placed in this room for a total of over 16 billion triangles from statues alone.
Damn. I'm digging this,
Over this
man.
entire demo, there are hundreds of billions of triangles.
Now this is really impressive. I'm getting Tomb Raider vibes, but like a twist, you know, with the power and everything. This is really cool looking. I'm digging this, man.
So with nanite, you have limitless geometry, and with lumen, you have fully dynamic lighting and global illumination, all running on a PlayStation 5.
Set in Nepal. Oh, that's fucking gorgeous. Look at the lights, guys. That's awesome. I like that. Is this a PS5 exclusive?
Much time left.
And this doesn't need to be constrained to small rooms. It can stretch all the way to the horizon.
Wow.
The portal, it's open. Don't fail me now.
Yo, holy shit. Wow.
It's time to see what's next.
Holy shit. That was sick, man. That was sick. That was sick. Unreal Engine 5. $2021. Okay.
There you go. The Unreal Engine 5 is real, and that was the first real-time footage of something running on the PlayStation 5 as well. Such a amazing day, I think, for gamers to get a glimpse at where games are going next. And now it's my honor to be joined by three guys from Epic to talk a little bit about today's announcement. Of course, we've got Tim Sweeney, Kim LeBerry, and Nick Penwarden. Guys, thanks for joining me here virtually. This is a really big and exciting day. I mean, I think I just was so blown away when I saw this footage about what UE5 can do. And Tim, this is, I know, a special moment for you to have, put a 5 on this Unreal Engine. I remember the first time you showed me the original Unreal Engine. I think it was like 1996 at E3. At a Marriott Marina Del Rey, and I was looking back last night at like the old Next Generation magazine cover with like, can you believe this is what a PC screenshot of the original Unreal Engine, how far we've come. Tell me, I mean, this is a big moment for Epic, but what does this mean to sort of the company right now to be able to, debut the first PlayStation 5 footage, but also, introduce.
Do you guys want to hear this interview? Because if not, we can
numbered
break down the
version of
gameplay demo.
Well, this really is a generational leap or more.
Let me know what you guys
in,
want in the chat. Let me know.
Capabilities. And the hardware that Sony
they didn't mention the name of
is absolutely phenomenal. Not only an unprecedented amount of graphics power, but also a completely new storage architecture that blows
fucking awesome.
past architectures out of the water, and it's far ahead of even the state of the art and the highest end PCs you can buy. And so, with Unreal Engine 5, we set out to build a new generation of technology that empowers creators to create photorealistic scenes that are indistinguishable from reality, and to do so with a very high degree of productivity. Right? I mean, there are two problems in game development. Right? One is the features needed to achieve
hit that like
complete
button, guys.
realism. But the other big problem is just the cost and time it takes for an artist to create a major new piece of content for a next generation game. And so Unreal Engine 5 attacks both of those problems. We have the nanite system for virtual geometry, enabling sub-pixel geometry, which is imperceptibly different from the full high-quality assets, so the movie quality assets that were originally scanned. Also the Lumen, the real-time global illumination system, not only to bring unprecedented quality and lighting to the environments, but also to free artists from having to worry about the details of lighting their levels.
Appreciate that,
Make
Eddie.
all these
I'm gonna
trade-offs
break
in
it down. I'm
static
gonna let him
lighting
talk
versus
first.
dynamic lighting. And so we're really trying to empower developers here and to enable developers to create a new generation of experiences that are both unbelievably realistic, but also economical and practical for them to create without having to have a 1,000-person team.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at that footage, in 4K, I mean, just the level of detail is absolutely stunning. Kim, maybe you could break down a little bit of this, sort of visually what's happening that makes it look so incredible. Because I know you've got a couple of new systems that you're really proud of, and maybe talk about Nanite and what that is and how it works and how it's going to kind of shape games moving forward.
Okay, so Nanite is a new geometry system for Unreal Engine that lets us get down to almost sub-pixel levels of detail on the screen. It's possible because we have a new generation of hardware that really allows us to put loads and loads of triangles at the screen. And we thought that we'd come up with a new technique that allowed us to be able to create content in a similar way to the way that they do on movies today. So in fact, when you look at that demo, all them assets, Nana is basically ingesting all the movie quality assets from Quixel to make that scene. And the artist doesn't even have to think about it. They can move rocks and mountains and statues wherever they want in the scene and not have to worry about triangle costs anymore. Lumen, the global illumination system that Tim mentioned, that just produces incredibly realistic and accurate bounce lighting. So wherever you place a light in the scene, its effect on the whole world is seen instantly by just moving things around. It's amazing.
Yeah, when I saw that demo, I was just so blown away by the visual fidelity, and also I think how much felt, at least to me as an end user, how much felt that so much of the environment was streaming in real time in so much detail, especially that sequence where she's flying through the environment. Mark Cerny has talked a lot about PlayStation 5 and the incredible bandwidth it's going to have to move data from the SSD
Quantum,
right onto
what's
screen.
up, bro?
Nick, can you maybe talk a bit about how that's...
You're going to have to talk. I told you, man. Don't worry about next gen. I got you, bro. Don't worry about it. I'm going to break it down, too, though. I'm just going to let them talk.
Types of things that just weren't possible in previous generations?
We're going to break this down.
So Nanite enabled the artist to build a scene with geometric complexity that would have been impossible before. There are tens of billions of triangles in that scene, and we simply couldn't have them all in memory at once. And so what we end up needing to do is streaming in triangles as the camera is moving throughout the environment. And the I/O capabilities of PlayStation 5 are one of the key hardware features that enable us to achieve that level of realism.
Yeah, no, it's stunning to see that, and I think also the global illumination. I think people have heard that concept before, but now really manifesting sort of in real time in that environment with the flashlight or some of the other lighting scenes. Can you guys maybe break down sort of from the gamer perspective, like how games are going to change because of the full global illumination?
Well, first of all, this enables a much wider variety of games to have very realistic responses to light. Everything from large-scale open-world types of games, with day-night cycles, being seamless transitions from indoor to outdoor. It's it makes lighting one of the things that the developers don't have to worry about. And it's a freeing technology. Not only does it mean more real-time lighting in games, but it also means there's a large set of problems that were very tricky in the previous generation that developers just don't need to worry about. And so I think you're going to see a much wider variety of types of games, taking advantage of Lumen and taking advantage of Nanite. And one of the core elements of every new generation transition is new hardware capabilities with an order of magnitude improvement over previous generations enable entirely new types of games to develop. The Battle Royale genre didn't even take off until the current generation, where you finally had enough computing and graphics power to enable a 100-player game with very, very high fidelity encounters. This new generation of technology that we're building with Unreal Engine 5 and that Sony's empowering with PlayStation 5 will enable entirely new types of game experiences that we can't even anticipate yet.
Yeah, there's been a lot of talk over the past couple of weeks about the next generation and kind of will the leap be as great as previous generations? What are the types of things we're going to see? I think this demo, at least to me, is the first kind of real-time example of something that really grabs me. And I just want to confirm, like, what we're seeing there, that's all, like, you can actually play that with a controller? Like, that's not kind of frame dumped or anything? That's actually playable?
It's a fully playable demo, and we plugged in a recorder into the back of a PlayStation 5 dev kit and recorded the signal that came out over HDMI. So it's a totally live demo, and it's replayable, and it's a little bit different every time you play it.
Wow. No, because I mean, that flight sequence, everything, that's what's so exciting to me is like, this is, real-time footage. So what do you guys think? I mean, when people say, like, what is the leap of this generation going to be to sort of, previous generations from like PlayStation 3 to 4 or whatnot? Is it any different this time? Is it going to be greater, less, or we don't know yet?
I think the sense of immersion, one of the great things about playing games is you can transport into places that you could never go in the normal world. This level of lighting and detail really gets you to a point where you're feeling like you're inside a movie set. Things are so realistic. And it's gonna aid the storytelling. I think that the sense of immersion, the feeling a player gets from actually visiting a space will be much deeper than you've ever seen before.
And the ability of the hardware and the engine to stream in massive amounts of content as you're going through a huge environment, I think that's going to have a much bigger impact on gaming than people are expecting right now. Until this next generation of hardware, previous generation console games had to be built to load data off of a spinning mechanical device, right? It has its roots in the 1950s, and now. Sony's storage system is absolutely world class. Not only the best in class in console, but also the best on any platform, better than high-end PC. I think this is going to enable the types of immersion that we only could have dreamed of in the past. The world of loading screens is over, and the days of pop-in and geometry popping up as you're going through these game environments are ended, and the resulting effect is the ability to build games that are fully immersive from start to finish over hundreds of hours of gameplay, if that's your game.
Yeah, no, incredible what I think this is going to enable. We've talked a lot about PS5. We know obviously Unreal Engine runs kind of across all platforms, including mobile and PC and Xbox, of course. What's your take on like what you're showing here? How is that going to scale to to other systems? Like this demo we're seeing, is that will that run on the Xbox Series X? Will it run on PC? How will it be different? Can you guys give us some context on that?
Well, I mean, Unreal Engine 5 is going to run across all of our supported platforms, next generation console, current generation consoles, as well as mobile devices. One of the key features that we've been working on is being able to build content once and deploy it across devices. So on higher end hardware where we can support Nanite directly, we'll be able to render scenes at the fidelity that you just saw, like on PlayStation 5. For, say, an Android or iOS mobile device, what we will be able to do is have tools that help to scale that content down so that you'll be able to take the game that you built at the highest fidelity level for console and bring it to all other devices.
Tim, do you have a sense between like sort of all the, like Xbox, PlayStation, all these other systems, like sort of, they've made somewhat different choices, also some similar ones, obviously with SSDs in both. Do you have a sense of how they're going to sort of compare in terms of power or, how you look at sort of like the overall landscape?
Well, we love all of our babies, and we can't make comparisons or pick favorites. But the Nanite technology we showed here is going to run across all next generation consoles and high-end PC. And most importantly, this is what's possible in the absolute best hardware that's going to exist at the end of the year. But these experiences you build, we will help developers scale down to every device that exists in the world. And we really hope to empower all developers to do what we've done with Fortnite in this generation, which is build absolutely no sacrifices, high-end console game, and then bring it to every device, including scaling it down to iOS and Android devices from years ago, so that we can reach a much larger audience of gamers than just the hardcore, some 200 million console players in the world.
So Kim, I know a lot of gamers around the world watched that footage and said, wow, I want to play that, but I'm sure they're also trying to kind of extrapolate out of that, since it's, this is not a game, it's a demo, how their games are going to feel different in the next generation. And one of the things that I really took away from it was that flight sequence at the end, which was just incredible, and with the sort of the rubble coming down and things moving. Could you maybe talk about sort of how the game experience might change with UE5? Sure, it's going to look visually more beautiful, but how is it going to play different?
So traditionally on this current generation, if you wanted to make a photorealistic environment, the way that people do that is they bake lighting into the environment. The problem with that means the environment is not dynamic. You can't move things around. You can't incorporate user-generated content because you don't know what it is prior to shipping your game. But with this technology, with the Lumen technology and Nanite, it means that worlds can be super rich and super dynamic. So not just destructible components, but mutating components and things that change beyond the release of the game. Every day, an environment could have grown and changed, and that can all be calculated live.
And does that extend to I assume destructible environments and whatnot, and allowing people to sort of, really that sequence in the flight where you sort of, saw the sort of tower crash down or whatever, that felt to me, I just hadn't seen that level of detail in a game like that. And some games like Uncharted or whatever sometimes have big destruction moments, but it felt like that was so detailed and so realistic. Is that partially because you can now move the environment more in real time?
Yes, and even effects like when we open that big dome where all the statues are, the light just floods in and bounces all over the place. You really, the way you would have had to do that in the past is you would have to cheat. And now it can be fully dynamic. You can blow a hole in the sky and the light will come through, and even choose randomly colored lights. If you put them into the scene as a player, then they're going to have an effect on the whole world and it'll still look realistic.
So in the past, you could get that effect, but it would have to be sort of pre-calculated, I guess? Is that how it worked?
Yeah, exactly. And even if you want to, if you're saying you're in a dungeon and you place a light, you see you've got a candle that you happen to have in the game and you place it, that will bounce around corners. So you can explore with limited light sources, and the old-fashioned gag of having a flashlight beam isn't what you need anymore. You can actually use light in really interesting ways.
Yeah, and even beyond games, Unreal Engine has been applied to so many amazing aspects of entertainment. Of course, I think everyone knows The Mandalorian, how that used Unreal Engine, and there's the Weather Channel. There's so many other uses of UE. Can you guys talk about how sort of UE5 is going to kind of tie into those experiences? And I think I assume you see this convergence of kind of everything coming together through an engine like Unreal in terms of just realizing entertainment. How will UE5 sort of be used in those fields, or how will that change the pipeline for non-game experiences too?
So one of the great things about Nanite is that it finally allows content creators of all kinds to be able to use movie quality assets. So there really won't be a difference. If you're building an environment for a film versus a video game, or you're making an IP that's transmedia, you can build things the same way now. And that was we had so much exposure to film customers over the last few years using our engine that we really wanted to remove the barrier for them and for all game makers. Right now, you pick a high resolution asset you want, you load it in, you don't have to think about making levels of detail or normal maps or any of the usual stuff that goes with making game content. It's a pretty freeing experience for anybody trying to tell a story or to make an experience.
That's amazing. So, in the eyes of a consumer, you'll see an asset that's in, a movie, and that they literally can drag that over to the game now. Whereas I guess in the past they would have to sort of, reduce down the polygons and kind of scale it down for a game engine.
Yeah, and in fact, actually, Quixel, that's also part of Epic. Their assets, they come when you take an asset from the Quixel store. There is a movie quality version that would be used in movies. I guess they were involved a lot in the Jungle Book movie a few years ago, and many movies today use Quixel assets. And they also have versions of them assets that are suitable for games. Now, you don't have to have that distinction. Nanite will just take the movie asset and do the right things with it.
One of the things I know when you guys moved to UE4, a lot of people, were worried about, it's breaking some of the pipeline of things that people had done previously. And it sounds like with this engine, you're saying it's going to be kind of a pretty seamless transition to UE5, right? That's important for you, sort of have the forwards compatibility?
Yeah, absolutely. we want to support developers bringing their games from UE4 to UE5, and in fact, we will be doing that ourselves with Fortnite. So we will be shipping Fortnite on next generation console on UE4, and then next year we will be bringing Fortnite to UE5 as well. So we'll be testing out that experience of bringing a game along from UE4 to UE5 and making sure the transition is manageable.
Wow. Yeah. Fortnite obviously is such a phenomenon, as you mentioned earlier, Tim, with, battle royales. But also I feel like, Fortnite has turned into, really kind of this metaverse-like platform where we're seeing kind of different experiences powered by Unreal. And I was wondering if you guys could talk a bit about that, because I look at, the Travis Scott concert and I see that as an amazing experience, but it sort of was an interactive music video in a way. And then, you watch the YouTube video for his new song, it's actually, just what was in Unreal. How do you see all those sort of worlds of entertainment combining, Tim, longer term? And obviously, based on what Kim was saying, it's now going to be even easier, I guess, for the assets to move. But from an experience standpoint, do you see kind of a blending of games with more traditional entertainment powered by Unreal?
Yeah, absolutely. All of these worlds are colliding right now in real time. We're seeing the sort of film production that's being done on The Mandalorian and other projects all around Hollywood, film and television. Being able to move directly to games in the future. Right now we've brought Marvel content into Fortnite and Star Wars content into Fortnite, and each of those processes started with rebuilding their movie quality assets for real time, using our tools. But in the future, this is going to be an exercise to build every asset exactly once and then deploy it everywhere. And the future isn't just going to be about Unreal Engine serving a bunch of separate markets. We're helping architects visualize their creations now, and that's awesome. We're helping film and television makers, virtually produce their work in real time, with actors in front of and actresses in front of cameras and big LED screens instead of green screens, and it's making the production process much more efficient, real time, and higher quality. But in the future, all of these assets are going to come together, and Epic's not going to just play a role in supplying creation software to all of these different industries. We're going to help everybody reach consumers with real-time 3D content. When General Motors released their Corvette car configurator for the 2020 Corvette, it was powered by Unreal. It was running in the cloud, and you could go there and you could configure your car right then. But that was disconnected from the rest of the gaming world. The next step with all of those types of experiences is to enable them to author that content for all their internal work, whether you're designing a home for a customer as an architect, or you're designing a car, or you're building a television series. We want the next generation of these experiences to be bringing all of those assets directly to gamers in a fun way, deploying them into Fortnite and every other Unreal Engine licensed use games, being able to reach a vast consumer audience that way, right? It's like it's like the transition that the world went through in the early days of the internet, and then social media. For a while it was just companies talking to customers one-on-one, and now you have the ability to reach customers directly through your Facebook page or your Twitter page, your Twitter account, or anything like that. But the next generation of these experiences is not just text and video. It's real-time 3D. It's a social experience where players are together with all of their friends and experiencing all of these companies' content together in real time. And it's a world that's not going to be powered by advertisements that pop up and annoy you. It's a world that's going to be powered by awesome content that these companies make available to power your entertainment experiences. And we're blazing this path to some extent with Fortnite, but there will be a lot of other games heading in this direction, a lot of them powered by Unreal Engine. And I think this is the next step in the entire digital content industry, not just gaming, but the whole thing.
I couldn't agree more. It's so exciting to feel that games are going to be at the center of this. But as you said, I think, this, like those shared experiences that you're having in Fortnite, even, a concert experience, there's no gunplay or combat involved. It's just a shared kind of experience, which is so compelling. And as you said, powered by Unreal. And then when you think of, as you said, those movie assets and all the other assets coming together in a world, it's really exciting. One thing I wanted to ask you about was the content creation path? Because we've seen a lot, especially in Fortnite, with creative mode and a lot of fans of Fortnite starting to build levels, and obviously UE, you guys I think have really focused on kind of making it accessible, lowering the royalty rates for kind of upstart developers. Can you maybe talk a bit about sort of the your vision of kind of how easy it is to build something in Unreal? I mean, are we going to get to a level where it is sort of like a Photoshop where you can kind of just jump in and build a game, or what is that barrier to entry going to go down in the next generation?
Epic is working to address the whole range of content development scenarios, all the way from your AAA game developer or your feature film in Hollywood being produced using world-class photoreal assets, all the way down to indie game experiences and content creation for the 100 million people who want to build stuff but aren't professional modelers and haven't had training in that. And the continuum of experiences spans Fortnite Creative, which has been used by over 100 million people, all the way up to Unreal Engine 4 and the Unreal Editor, which is an insanely powerful piece of software that's actually pretty complicated to learn. But over time, these tools and technologies will be coming together in some exciting ways, and we're not ready to talk about all of it yet. But Epic is really thinking about and putting a lot of effort into addressing the entire continuum of content development and content deployment scenarios. We feel that the state of the world is a little bit broken right now. If you look at the app stores on smartphones, you have 250,000 games, each competing for the top 10 charts, where virtually all of the sales occur. And you have a small number of winners and a whole lot of losers in that way, and it's not a fair situation for game developers. And you have a lot of amazing games that just get lost because they haven't been discovered. More and more we want to enable content creators to reach the audiences within existing games. And this has been part of the industry since the days of Quake and Unreal Tournament, when user mods became possible, and we and id Software released our first tools so the community could start building their own stuff. And now it's reached a scale of hundreds of millions of users. If you look at what Fortnite is doing, and Minecraft and Roblox enabling user content creation, but I think right now you have two separate worlds, right? You have the professional tools, Unreal Engine and Unity, and then you have the tools for the masses in Fortnite, Minecraft, Roblox, and they're really not connected anymore. They're not connected at all. And the next step is to cross over and to enable all of the content tools to reach all of the customers and all of the ways that they play games. And this is something we're thinking a lot about, and we'll be doing a lot of work on in the coming years.
It's awesome to hear. We've talked a lot, obviously, about like graphics and lighting and things that are very powerful and visual that grab you. But I want to talk about the underlying architecture a little bit, and things especially like online services. And I know that's something that Epic has focused on, about kind of connecting people, even crossplay, but also finding ways to kind of bring communities together. And I guess some of that's tied to UE5, but also it's just a general platform approach. But can you maybe share a bit on kind of your vision on the other aspects of Unreal and Epic, and how that's going to sort of evolve over the next few years too?
Oh, sure. Today we're showing Unreal Engine 5 for the first time, but we're launching the Epic Online services to all developers in the world across 5 platforms right now, and you can download the Epic Online Services SDK and use it right away. What this is the set of all of the online features that we built for Fortnite, including cross-platform friends that span 7 platforms, enable players to connect together with all of their friends everywhere. Despite the different account systems and friend systems that exist on each platform, on the console platforms and on Steam, and we're opening it up to all developers for free. And the goal here is to help all developers work together to accomplish what we accomplished with Fortnite, and to build a cross-platform social ecosystem together with all of the other developers in the industry, right? Instead of players being siloed into the one platform they're playing on, we want them to be able to reach all of their friends everywhere, but also build up friends across multiple games. And that's the really interesting thing about the Epic account services that we're launching. If you choose to use Epic accounts in your game, then you can reach the entire Fortnite player base, which is over 350 million accounts worldwide, and more importantly, it's 2.2 billion social connections between players. When two players become online friends and start playing together, those friend connections now persist across games, from all of the different publishers who choose to use these services. And so, it's the most open set of services that have been launched to date, and it really helps to bridge the gap, that's existed on all of the other platforms. And until recently, it was really only Epic, EA, Activision, the really big companies with a huge set of development resources that had the capability of building that sort of thing. But now this is open, and it's approved by all three of the console makers for use on their platforms, and it's ready for all game developers to adopt. And so we're really trying to help the industry get to a better place. And we think, the core of the game industry are these 300 million hardcore gamers across high-end PC and console. But there are billions of gamers worldwide, and I think the next stage of the industry's growth is going to come from connecting these audiences, not with low-end casual games on one set of platforms and high-end games on another set of platforms, but getting all of the players to play together and enabling all developers to release their games on all platforms, as we did with Fortnite.
Yeah, I think that's such an interesting idea that, these gaming platforms almost become, it's another social network now, right? And I know you guys have House Party that's been very successful over the past few months especially, but it feels like now, you talk those numbers with Epic Online Services, it starts to feel like this is, a Twitter or a Snapchat or an Instagram and sort of this way to kind of connect people. Is that part of your longer term vision, is that people will use sort of these game services as kind of a gateway to connect with people, and games are a part of it, but also just the larger sort of social graph will be kind of the gateway to it will be through a game engine?
Well, what we're building here is the opposite of a walled garden, right? We're enabling all publishers to use all of their different account systems and connect using these services. And we're working with all of the different console makers and other platforms and services to help interconnect them. The most interesting thing about this, and if you start playing Fortnite on PlayStation and then you want to play the game on the iOS device, on iOS you can log in with your PlayStation account, and then you get all of your PlayStation progress transferred over. If you start playing on PC, then you create an Epic account. Then if you go to Xbox, then you can log in with your Epic account on your Xbox. And so this isn't a walled garden. Rather, it's an attempt to connect all of the different services, some of which have different degrees of openness. And I think that's really going to be freeing for the industry. It's going to mean that everybody can talk to everybody else, and there's no one company controlling the whole thing. Rather, it arises as a result of the cooperation between all of the different companies in the ecosystem, who finally realize that they can grow better and build better businesses if, instead of trying to let players into their platforms, they enable their players to connect with all of their friends across all platforms. Because we have a lot of devices in our lives, and everybody who has an Xbox or a PlayStation also has an iPhone or an Android device. To really enable the next generation of industry growth, we've got to be able to connect all of these users with all of these friends and set aside kind of the old feuds that defined previous generations of the console business.
So with everything you're describing, I think of, a show like The Mandalorian, which, we all watched and loved, but all those assets are there. I mean, nothing prevents them now from building kind of an interactive experience, I guess, around that they could power with something like Unreal. And, maybe it's a game, but maybe it's just sort of this shared experience. And it feels like, the visual fidelity now that these next-gen consoles will bring. I mean, based on what you were saying, Kim and Nick, it's like, are things going to look just like movie visual effects? Like, what are the things that I guess real-time games can't do still that we get to see in some of these other shows?
Get it? Let's see.
I think we're getting much closer on this generation to get to the point where you're not going to be able to tell the difference between a virtual world and a real world. There's still
photorealism,
physical
guys.
phenomenon, big massive explosions, and waves of crashing on a beach. I think they're still probably one generation off before they're perfect, but we're getting closer and closer. And one of the coolest things that we've seen with the advent of shows like The Mandalorian starting to use the engine is they're beginning to understand that a game engine isn't just about rendering pretty real-time pixels. They're understanding that game engines, especially Unreal, is built for building these very immersive simulated worlds. So we're seeing people say they've got a car chase in their TV show that they're trying to make, then they'll actually drive cars with steering wheels and joypads to race against each other and then film that after the fact. So it's starting to become very almost like very Matrix way in the way that they're using simulation for cinematic content creation. And I think that's just going to get more and more common. And as they start to rock the potential of what real-time interactive entertainment is about, I think you're going to see traditional storytellers making the move into video games, and I think and backwards and forwards. I think you're going to see this very, very fuzzy world where it's just entertainment. You're building an IP. It can be a game. It can be a TV show. It can be all of these things, and it's going to be a pretty exciting decade.
All right.
And I'm sure some people saw that, the showcase that you guys just showed, the demo, and everyone's like, I want to play that game. But we should clarify that's not a game, I don't think, right? It's just a tech demo?
It's a tech demo. Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Bummer.
We feel it's the best way to present, especially something that was built for the Game Developer Conference, is to show something within the context of gameplay. So, and it also means, we wanted to improve some animation systems in the engine. So it was much better to actually have a world that you can walk through, play, jump, whatever. Keeps it real, or unreal in this case.
I was gonna say. It's real gameplay. That's what we like to see, is that people can actually play through that. And again, it just blows me away when you see that final sequence of the flight, and that's the kind of thing that I think we've all been waiting for, is to see that glimpse of where games are going next. So it's really exciting to see how you guys keep pushing the technology to the next level with UE5. And I know it's going to be next year, you say. So we'll see some next gen games this holiday shipping on brand UE 4.25, I think, right? And then next year is when we'll see UE5. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. We're planning on having a preview of UE5 available early next year, and then shipping the full 5.0 later in the year.
Yeah. So we won't see the full 5 until 2021.
I know you guys have done a lot of work there with sort of character technology. We already talked about with Nick, the idea of streaming more into the environment, no load times, as Tim mentioned. I mean, these are other things that I guess are going to sort of impact the game experience. But are there other dimensions that you think the next generation will sort of evolve to with UE5? I mean, I think the character stuff feels like, to me, another area where we're not quite the same as movies yet in terms of character technology, but I'm sure you guys are pushing on that too.
I'm very confident. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Tim.
This is just the tip of the iceberg here. We've shown digital humans technology in the past, but Epic and the 3 Lateral team that recently joined us are going to be pushing that to entirely new levels, not just in graphics fidelity, but also in productivity for content creators, so that a developer without a huge budget can build digital humans that are world class. We have a lot of investments going on that you'll hear about over the coming months and over the next year. Also, at the core of this, this isn't a big open world demo, but open world technology and enabling worlds without bounds is the key initiative that's uniting all of this. Virtualized geometry is one part of it. Global illumination with Lumen is another part of it. But ultimately, this comes together to empower huge streaming seamless environments, and that creates an entirely new direction for games to go. And remember, this is not just a graphics engine, right? It's a full simulation engine. It aims to power every aspect of simulating a realistic environment, including very detailed physics, and vehicles, and collision, and destruction, and everything else. I think you'll see a qualitatively different set of games built for the new generation than what we have here. And it's going to be very exciting because we don't yet know exactly what they're going to be.
And how does you guys mentioned Fortnite moving to UE5 next year? Like, I mean, how is this going to impact Fortnite? Do you think, in terms of like the game with UE5? Sure, you don't want to spoil much, but it's like just technically, sort of like, is that going to enable the game to evolve too?
Well, it puts a vast amount of additional new power in the hands of all of the creators who build Fortnite, both within Epic and the 100 million or so outside of Epic.
Yeah.
It's going to be very interesting to see where this enables the game to go in the future. I think what we have now is a very, very small fraction of what the game will be in the future, and it's going to be very exciting to see the Fortnite team evolve it and have all of this new power in their hands.
What I see it as, it's a game, but it also feels like a platform in a way that it's enabling, these other, there's battle royale game, but there's creative, and obviously we've started to see, other experiences with music artists and whatnot around it. So it feels like it is this, this beachhead to sort of a bunch of other content. Is that how you view it? As sort of this, sort of this? I mean, people have used the term, sort of metaverse, but is that sort of the longer term vision? Is that Fortnite can sort of grow to wherever creators want to take it?
Yeah, they define a platform as an ecosystem in which most of the content is not created by the company that operates it, right? And I think if you look at Fortnite today, it's not that, but anything's possible in the future. I think that's a very interesting direction for the whole game business. Every game developer is thinking about this problem of how to not limit their experience by the 10 or 100 or 1,000 people on their development team, but how to uncap the entire world's creativity to enable an entirely new generation of game experiences to be developed in an entirely new way.
Shout out to Blaze. Thanks, bro.
Yeah, well, I think UE5 obviously shows the high end of the aspiration for everyone to, what they'll eventually be able to maybe make. And yeah, that demo is absolutely stunning. Before we go, I wanted to ask you, that demo, how long did it take you guys to build? How many people
that's all I want to know.
Give us a sense of how that came to life.
To the breakdown.
Well, we started thinking about it straight after GDC was when we started thinking about it. We knew Brian's nanite technology was beginning to come online, and but the bulk of the work, I would say, started from sort of September through to March, and I think the team. It probably peaked over this, but I think it was about 24 people that worked on the project overall. And with a bit of help from our friends at Quixel, if it hadn't been for the Quixel Megascan library, we couldn't be able to populate that world.
Yeah, well, I'm sure everyone looks at that and says, I want to play that game, and I know we're not necessarily going to get it, but it hopefully will inspire a lot of creators around the world about what will be possible. With UE5 and also the next generation systems. So, I feel real excited now about what we're going to get to see for the rest of the year for all these next gen games and, of course, into the future. Thanks, as always, for joining me, guys. It's great to see the first look at UE5 and hear about where Epic's going. And, the future looks quite bright. Thanks, guys.
Cool.
Thank you, Jeff Keighley, because Thank you, Mr. Jeff Keighley, because he definitely shit on one particular comment. So, now that we got that out the way, let's put this back on the screen. Let me just turn down some of this. All right, so let's get into the breakdown. You guys are here. I know you guys survive. You guys still in the chat. Let's get into what made me giggle this entire this demo presentation of PS5. So right here immediately, I knew exactly what he was talking about off the bat. So let's go here and let's play.
Let's stop a moment.
Listen for a second.
Some of the key features of this demo.
One.
Much of what you see was built with Quixel Megascan assets, but instead of using the game versions, we used the cinematic versions, which would typically only be used in film.
Okay, so the cinematic version from film, this is actually real world, if you get what I'm saying here. They took snippets from real world and placed it in the game. So this is not something that you're going to see. It's like in games now, you get like these clay-like animations. That's no longer a thing going into their engine. They don't need to run into that at all. You're going to get full-fledged realistic environments based on actual photorealistic photos. Or photo representation, sorry,
Thanks to virtual
into the
texturing,
game.
They all use 8K textures as well. Nanite can render an insane number of triangles very quickly. There are over 1 billion triangles of source geometry in each frame that Nanite crunches down losslessly to around 20 million drawn triangles. What does that many triangles look like?
So this right here, guys, this right here, again, take this into consideration here. Now, I said this during the part of this. I don't know if you heard me, but you guys remember PS5 has a high, IO throughput. Basically, the PS5 can handle 5 times more data than what's going to be available on Xbox Series X. And granted, Microsoft will have the advantage in graphical fidelity. They do have a better CPU, but what Sony went with was more and faster data transfer between the system. PS5 can handle every single task with no issues, going 3 times faster than what you're going to see, or I'm sorry, 5 times faster than what you're going to see in Series X. And what you see here, imagine this on a bigger scale with first party and open world. That is how much more you're going to get on screen. So detail is definitely going to be there, but let me let it continue.
These are the triangles, each a different color. Most are so small that they look like noise. Nanite achieves detail down to the pixel, which means triangles are often the size of pixels. This amount of geometric detail requires shadows to be pixel accurate as well, and Nanite can do that too. Speaking of lighting, all of the lighting in this demo is completely dynamic, with the power of Lumen that even includes
Or actually, no, I'm sorry, not 5 times. It's like 3 or 4 times, something like that.
No baking
but it's higher than
Without
Series
GI,
X. I'm going
all of
off
that
there.
beautiful lighting is
My
gone.
bad.
With Lumen enabled,
but it's
the
higher.
light and the bounce changes instantly.
Now, this particular feature here you see with the light going on, now we usually see that in what, guys? Trailers. This is now in real time. We'll get this in actual gameplay. We don't really see this as much in games as we thought as much as we think we were going to get it, right? We never really got that type of realistic bouncing of light. This is now going to be a thing with games going forward.
Okay, let's keep going.
Notice the detail on the rocks too, they dropped.
We've made some great additions to our audio system as well. Convolution reverb allows us to measure reverberation characteristics of real spaces, like actual caves that we sampled, and reproduce them in virtual spaces.
Now again, remember how you said like they're able to place things in between into the actual file of the game itself from like pictures and whatnot? You already just said they took actual pictures here and modeled that in here instead of having to painstakingly recreate that for the world. You know what I'm saying? You don't have that issue.
Sound field rendering allows us to record and play back spatialized audio. All of this adds up to a more immersive experience. This swarm of bats was created with our Niagara effects system. Particles in Niagara can now talk to one another and understand their environment like never before. We've also added a ton of new functionality to run fluid simulations like you see in the water below.
Yeah, look at the water. Just look at the water, for God's sakes, guys. Look at this. Hold on. Let's get back.
Particles in below.
All this, man. And how seamless it is. Remember again, PS5 loads things before you even get it. It has everything done. Bro.
The demo runs on our
I'm excited, man. I'm excited.
Here we are using
this definitely answered
bodies of the falling rocks
all my
and
questions.
The cloth of her scarf.
I'm gonna let this play.
Now that the
and also take into account too, this is running strictly off the PS5 itself. You know what I'm saying? They're not doing something off of a PC and they have the settings down to what the system is going to look like. Remember, we saw that the Inside Xbox, they said at the bottom, this is an expectation of what we believe is going to be on the console. This is not the case here. You got the full-fledged raw power of what you're going to be able to do on the console.
The environment is so complex, we've needed to greatly improve our animation systems to adapt. We've added predictive foot placement and motion warping, which dynamically modifies IK and body position to look more natural. For the character to more realistically interact with the environment, we've added the ability to trigger seamless contextual animation events, like her hand on the door.
Sounds promising.
Dynamic GI is amazing, not just for speeding up iteration, but also for its impact on gameplay.
Alright, so let me go back for a second. Look at her hand. So when she touched the wall, notice her hand didn't clip through the door or through the wall. Now, like you see that in games now, thing of the past. Look at her hand. It doesn't clip through it. It literally touches it and doesn't clip. And keep in mind too, with PS5, with the SSD and the way it handles data, they're not even fully using all the assets of the console at all. They're not fully going all out yet. So just imagine what first party is going to look like, aside from third party.
For its impact on gameplay.
Nice.
Any light source can move while still having beautiful bounce lighting.
Again,
Dynamic
the lighting.
illumination means specular as well, which you can see on all the metal surfaces. You can even see the Niagara-powered bugs reacting to the light.
Yep. So another thing I wanted to ask too, I'm wondering if they're using Sony's new audio, because the audio in this sounds so authentic. It sounds really, really good. Like, are you guys like really hearing this audio? Like everything from the nooks and crannies, the cracks, the rubble, and hell, even these scarabs. I mean, it sounds so realistic and authentic. I'm wondering if they're rocking that audio, or they're using their engine.
Dynamic GI is amazing, not just for speeding up iteration, but also for its impact on gameplay.
Nice.
Any light source can move while still having beautiful bounce lighting. Dynamic illumination means specular as well, which you can see on all the metal surfaces. You can even see the Niagara-powered bugs reacting to the light. Lumen not only reacts to moving light sources, but also changes in geometry.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Remember we mentioned high poly assets? This statue was imported directly from ZBrush and is more than 33 million triangles. No baking of normal maps, no authored LODs. And we can do more than a single statue. There are nearly 500 of that exact statue at the same detail level placed in this room, for a total of over 16 billion triangles from statues alone. Over this entire demo, there are hundreds of billions of triangles.
Yeah, it's set on Niagara. I'm just mesmerized by this whole thing here, especially here. I was getting Uncharted/Tomb Raider vibes with just like magic involved. It kind of sucks though. This is actually not an actual game. I would actually buy this. I would actually purchase
Midnite,
this.
you have limitless geometry, and with Lumen, you have fully dynamic lighting and global.
That's the only
illumination,
downside.
all running on a PlayStation 5.
I don't think he mentioned the audio system. That's the thing I was looking for. I don't think he said it. He probably did, and I missed it. I don't think he said they're using Sony's or not. I think they are though. If they're using their own, it sounds very, very crisp. It sounds really nice, detail-wise. And then of course, Craig, so can you jump in? Yeah, give me 1 second, Craig. I'm gonna jump in the Discord
There's
in a
not
second.
much time left.
And this doesn't need to be constrained to small rooms. It can stretch all the way to the horizon.
The portal, it's open. Don't fail me now.
This shit blew my mind right here. This is absolutely insane. Look at that. Seamless. That blew my mind.
It's time to see what's next.
It was running at 60 frames. And then that was it. That was their Unreal preview. So again, my hype level. I need everybody to put your hype level in the chat. Like scale to 1 to 10. How much more hype are you for PS5? Again, both systems are going to be great. If you're on Xbox, if you're on no, I'm gonna echo from Craig. But if you're on Xbox, if you're on Nintendo, whatever, PS5, Series X, they're both going to be great. But you can clearly see here now that really, again, T-flops, and this came back to what we said before, T-flops are not going to be the be-all of end-all. You know what I'm saying? It's different. They're doing different things here. And you're going to get different results. And both are going to outperform one another in different ways. So Microsoft, more likely, is going to be hitting higher resolutions. You know what I'm saying? A better GPU, and they have a higher clock CPU to maintain it. So they're definitely going to be hitting higher native resolutions. But Sony's going for a more fast, efficient system, and you guys see it here. I mean, I don't even have to say anything. I can just go right back here, and you see how like quick and seamless everything is. There's no loading. There's no hiccups. There's nothing. It's just it's natural. It's kind of like you looking from left to right. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing processing. There's no delay. There's no delay at all. So if I was to look at this, like when she looks around the camera, you guys can see it. There you go. But there's no delay here. I see an 8, I see a 10, 9.2, 11, 69, 10, 9. So pretty much everybody's as excited. Jez, if you want to jump in, jump in. Somebody said 5, okay. And look, I changed bad hombre done changed his whole persona. Look at him. He changed everything. I told you, bro. Listen, I know we were in. You jumped in during the boring kind of breakdown. I was actually taking notes that entire time because he basically was confirming what I said again. What you saying, how easy everything is. It's fast. It's efficient. They're able to do things they couldn't do with PS4. The system itself designed strictly for developers in mind to take full asset, to really take full control and take full use of all the assets with no hiccups whatsoever, and that's why they went with a higher they went with a higher IO throughput. So again, you're gonna get some you're gonna get some awesome bangers. Now, just again, this is not even from Sony's first party, and we're already amazed, right? Can you imagine what Horizon Zero Dawn 2 is gonna look like, or what the other team that's probably working on another Uncharted is gonna look like? Maybe another another God of War. What could that look like? The possibilities is there. So again, possibilities are endless.
Yeah.
Okay, so Craig, what's up, man? I know you were itching to get on the thing. Well, what you thought, man?
Well, again, as far as the demo, the fact that it was gameplay on a PS5, I'm a gameplay guy. And the damage control was unbelievable. People were saying it was 1440p, 30 frames a second, didn't have ray tracing. Now again, I don't have a counter in front of me. I don't know.
That was about 60 for what I'm looking at. That's 60.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what this is. So I thought when she was moving around, I don't know if that was a pre-rendered scene or if they were actually moving the character. But again, it was a demo running. You could clearly see the ray tracing on there. They were saying it didn't have ray tracing, and Epic didn't mention it. But the global illumination.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's ray
awesome.
tracing. Yeah, that's hardware.
They're using different techniques, and that's another thing that's gonna carry over for Series X as well. A lot of developers are gonna opt for different techniques to give you a different result. And we saw the first version with the global illumination.
Well, I thought when they clearly said with the geometry engine, you can clearly see the light bouncing correctly. That is ray tracing. That's exactly what ray tracing is. It's just path. It's just a light. It's So all these people talking all this trash. They're on Twitter. I mean, these are the same guys that said RD and they won. They said RDNA 1.5. I mean, we can go on and on and on. They've not been right about anything. Now, what I don't like about the game / demo is it looks like there's a puzzle, and I just put yuck.
Well,
as soon as she,
well, okay. So the only downside about the demo, again, I know a lot of people saying this. What game is this? It's not really. They confirmed that it's not a game that they're working on. It's just something that they slapped together for you guys. And basically, they it was a small idea they did in record time, pretty much. Because he said they started on it in September and was done right now. So that's crazy. Yeah. But yeah, they were able to get all this done and from September to now. Yeah, and that's game development is going to be very fast. This was virtual ray shading, ray tracing audio, virtual lighting. Easy enough to see that. Yeah,
you were mentioning the sound. I did notice the sound.
Yeah, the sound sounds absolutely amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. So no, I don't disagree with what that gentleman just put there. To me, they showed a demo that had the variable rate shading. Here's what's important: is this part her just moving the person moving around. And the fact that all this is being rendered seconds, whatever seconds ahead of time.
Like milliseconds, yeah.
Yeah, the draw distance. And again, this scene here, I don't know if it's pre-rendered. When she falls, do they actually
No, this is gameplay. They're controlling it because they're controlling it, see? Yeah, they're moving it, see? She's running and doing it.
Yeah, that's what I didn't know. I was like, was this a pre-rendered cutscene? Because this would have been a cutscene.
Actually, no, that's a good thing. That's a good question. It could be. I mean, it's so hard to tell because it's so well blended. That's the thing. Yeah, we'll have to find out through like an actual through.
But digital. They said it was real. But yeah, Kid Smooth is going crazy. So is Tim Dog. People are saying it was 1440p, which it may have been. I said on my podcast last night, you're still gonna get 1440p and checkerboard.
I mean, after that garbage. Assassin's Creed reveal. I'll take this.
Yeah. I was going to ask. I mean, after what we just saw with the Assassin's Creed thing,
he tried to spoil it too because people were telling me that he was trying to spoil the event before we got here. Like he was saying PS5 reveal for the day. Like I told you guys, I did not think PS5 reveal at all. If anything PS5 related, it would probably be like an announcement of something, right? Now we did get something PS5 related. First official gameplay of the system. Again, this is running in engine on the new Unreal Engine 5. And Unreal Engine 5, I'm not gonna lie, this shit looks awesome. This shit looks tough. I'm sold just off of that alone. Digital Foundry's about to shut these down. Oh yeah, what's up, Basio? But that shit alone looks great. Now again, just imagine the first party. This is what I'm telling you, man.
Well,
and also we're streaming this too. We're streaming this, so it could look even better. But they did say textures are 8K too. They did say that 8K textures with the.
I did not know that. I didn't know that.
So I listened to the whole breakdown. They did say 8K textures. They did say how they're able to take like pictures from like the real world. That's why when they said like during this part here in the cave. They said they modeled everything from the picture. So basically they took the picture, they dragged it in there and they can like match it. And that's how they did. And it's so seamless, no issues. So I'm sold. I'm so very
I was going to get one anyway, but yeah, if they can do this, imagine like you said, what their first party games are going to do. But yeah, somebody was just saying they slapped this together to show you variable rate shading, ray tracing. They said it had 8K textures in there, so it was like everything Mark Cerny had said they were going to be able to do. They showed you what it would possibly look like with Epic using their engine. And I understand Epic talking about Fortnite. Hell, I don't play Fortnite, but my niece does. She just graduated from college, so
congratulations.
So she's playing Fortnite, and Brie Larson's playing Fortnite, and everybody's playing Fortnite. Fine, I take it. I'm just in the minority of this, but I just think that all these idiots, they to me based on what just happened, I guess it was last Thursday with the Microsoft gameplay. They honestly, I mean it sincerely, they just need to shut up at this point. They just need to shut up, and they don't know what they're talking about. I don't ever want to hear about that. What we saw was on 36 CUs. That's what we saw, and 10.3 T-flops if it was running that much. But what my big question was, Big Cloud, was how in the world are they going to have a character in a space and then turn to the left, turn to the right, and not have Poppy in it? But he clearly was saying they're not going to have the Poppy.
Yeah, on this again, remember, like Mark Cerny talked about that, the deep dive. So you remember like when he was showing the little slide and it was showing like the depth of view and like he was turning it around like it was spinning, like it was going left, right? Usually in games now you see that nowadays, like for example, if I can see, you guys can see it right now if you guys want, if you don't believe me, but if you launched The Last of Us 1, the remaster, and you turn your character. So let's say you're Joel, and let's say you're just out, right? And let's say Ellie's on the left side of you. If you move the camera to the left super fast, you'll get this blur, and it takes a minute for it to render. You know what I'm saying? And you'll see that in certain details in the world where the pop in. This is no longer a thing with PlayStation 5 at all. That's why when she was doing stuff like this in the cave, walking around, right? You see how seamless it is. The camera just panned with it. There was no lag whatsoever. There was nothing holding it back. And this is why I'm saying, like, the jump is ridiculous here. God.
Yo, what's up, guys?
What's up, man?
Let me ask you this, Big Cloud. What were you able to write down about the I/O and the SSD?
Well, we know it's more capable than Series X. Last time I checked, they can render 5.5 gigabytes of data fast. That's their speed right now. 5.5 gigabytes. For Xbox Series X, if I'm not mistaken, it was like 2 something for theirs. So yeah, it was like 2 something.
It was written down.
It was like 2 something. So with that, again, Microsoft's not gonna have Microsoft's gonna have a good. They're gonna have the same. They're gonna have good results too. But I'm saying, with Sony again. You know what I'm saying, the transfer of data and how fast this thing is going, and just like the process of elimination, I guess you can say, right? This is second to none with PlayStation 5. You're gonna get some crazy shit, and you guys are seeing it on screen right here. Again, there was nothing. There was no hiccups. There was no lag. There was no nothing. And granted, this little demo they done, right? This was done in September, and this was for GDC.
Yeah. Yep.
So if they were able to give you this insane looking demo, and this is where another thing a lot of people need to take into account. If they were able to give you this, and this is from GDC, just imagine how the real big AAA budget games are going to look after months going into detail. See what I'm saying? That is going to be even better. And so you got to take that into account.
And these guys are really saying that was 30 FPS. So I don't know if it was or not.
Oh,
so.
Boy.
So.
Well, what can you say, man? What can you do, man, Josh? What can you do, man?
Yeah, that was pretty cool looking. Definitely. I think one of the biggest things here was that it showed you why next generation, because that was one of the biggest things that last week we were just kind of like, why next generation if it's just going to be upscaled games that we're currently playing.
Yeah.
And this showed like what the potential is for next generation. Like this is what should have been shown. Like this is what should have been shown like last week. This is what we need to see. We need to see why these are next generation games. And and the interesting thing is that they slapped PlayStation 5 all over this thing. Like this is PlayStation 5. The unfortunate thing is that it's not a real game.
Yeah, that's the only thing I would love
to
buy
this was a game. Like this was they were gonna drop at the end, be like, oh yeah, this is a exclusive game. But then watching it had a lot of the tropes of Tomb Raider. I'm like, how will this be much more different than Tomb Raider?
Yeah. So maybe it's smart to not make this a game because the comparisons would be wild, right? But
yeah.
For a game to showcase the basics, such as to showcase
to showcase the potential of a next generation console. This is what you need to start with, not a bunch of current gen games with a tramp stamp on it, like what optimized for Series X bullshit. You know what I mean? Like that's where this thing this was successful. And that's where I was going all over Twitter, because I see people like, well, because it is kind of crazy. Like last week we were like, there's no next gen gameplay. We have no gameplay. This week we got next gen gameplay, but it's of a tech demo. So it's like well, like what do we like? It's really between a rock and a hard place here. Like, just show us a next gen game only on there, and I think it's coming, definitely from Sony's aspect. But the thing is that Epic and partnering with the Unreal Engine 5 and this demonstrating on the PlayStation 5, and they talked all about the PlayStation 5 tech, the SSD, the streaming of the elements and things like that, like basically making it look like this can only be done on the PlayStation 5, and then it'll be ported to other platforms and stuff like that. Like really. Well, they were like sort of like when Keeley asked them about like, well, how is this running on an X and stuff? He's like, well, we developed for the PlayStation 5. He said something where he's like, and he also mentioned like iPhones and mobile too. So like, yeah. But they were leading with the PlayStation 5, and they were like, I don't know if he said port per se, but we could bring it to other platforms. He was kind of alluding to, because Keeley was trying to say like, trying to do the console war thing. Because he always does that kind of shit. If you listen to some of his questions, it was sort of like, well, we all know that this is probably going to be able to also run on a Series X. Like this Unreal Engine will run on a Series X. Oh, yeah. It's just my aspect of it, looking as a consumer and as from a marketing standpoint of walking into next generation. The thing is that last week was lacking. Last week there was questions as to why next generation, and that was all in Microsoft's court and failure. And Sony just came in, with Epic partnership, and they tied their name to this gameplay, to this demonstration of next gen power, and basically now they said, boom, this is the way you start it. And they got the games, Horizon or whatever, not Horizon using Unreal, but they got games running on Unreal exclusive games possibly.
Yeah.
This, and the thing is like, this is how you lead a next generation reveal. Like, this is how you start the conversation. Microsoft has been talking since December and yet to prove why we need a Series X. And Sony in this thing with Epic just talking up. Sony wasn't even there.
Yep.
They weren't even there. There was no Helmut Hunt showing up. There was no Yoshida hugging them in the background. Sony wasn't even there. These devs are just coming out and hyping up the PlayStation 5. And everybody on Twitter is like, it's marketing. It's marketing. Well, guess it's smart marketing, because Sony don't have to say shit. And these devs are saying, just like with the Mark Cerny reveal, all the devs came out on Twitter. They weren't like PlayStation, it wasn't like Major Nelsons of PlayStation. These were all independent devs talking about the power of the SSD and what it can be done with it. These devs are excited about the PlayStation 5. You get that sense with it. Where Xbox, there's no excitement except from Phil Spencer and Aaron Greenberg. Just the employees.
Yeah.
Where's that and some indie guys that want to like talk to them? Like, these are people. Epic is there hyping up the PlayStation 5. This was an Epic Unreal Engine 5 reveal with PlayStation like marketing. This is the beginning of it.
Yeah. And
that's where I'm at. Like, this is Sony did again. It jumped onto Microsoft's lack of things. And this is just smart marketing. And you're comparing the two of them. Like, Sony is leading it and they did nothing. That's what's so frustrating, I think, to a lot of those people that we're seeing online, is that they're like, this was a multi-platform event. Like, no, it is, but it isn't. Like, yes, it's Unreal 5.
Yeah. Shout out to Fred Vance, $5 super chat. He said, "Isn't Guerrilla Games supposed to be setting the benchmark of PS5? This visual gives a taste of to what may be in store for first party games." Exactly. So yeah, that is true. Guerrilla Games is supposedly setting the benchmark with their game. So again, and the crazy thing about this too, again, Sony's not here in general, but this was obviously PS5 focus. So tomorrow we're going to be back here again live on the channel, because they are doing the Ghost of Tsushima, supposedly 18 minutes of gameplay.
Yeah,
but that's not
Ghost of
Summer.
Tsushima.
That's not the Summerfest, though.
That's not Summerfest.
It's not Summerfest. This is State of Play tomorrow.
Yeah,
and tomorrow's State of Play is going to be on that. So I'm wondering if they're going to announce the official showcase for PS5, like console reveal, like when it's happening. But that's for tomorrow.
And for all the people talking about the global illumination, I just looked this up. I Googled it, because Google's your friend, and it says global illumination, the more advanced form of ray tracing. adds to the local model by reflecting light from surrounding surfaces to the objects. I think that's what they were talking about. If you go back and listen to them, that's what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Since a global illumination model is more comprehensive, more physically correct, and it produces more realistic images. And I'm gonna what's that called? Copy that, and I'm gonna put this on the Twitter machine.
Well, Craig, global illumination has been around for a long time. That's just real.
That's been
real
around.
time.
Yeah.
No, you're right. But all these people talking about ray tracing, global illumination is what I don't know if you watch. How many here watched the Marvel movie Infinity War?
Who didn't?
Okay, the stone. Okay, when Thanos was putting those stones in, how they were lit, that's global illumination.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's global illumination. The ray tracing is when he would put them into the gauntlet and the light of that certain stone was on his face. So you're right. I'm not saying that you're wrong, but the fact that they kept saying global illumination, and I just looked this up on on Google, and they said it's the more advanced form of ray tracing. So this is not for people here. This is for the people in the community. They just need to shut up. These guys talked about 52 CUs. They talked about
That's what's hilarious is that the other side has been talking up so much hype and tech that you think that this would have been their demo, but they've been showing ho-hum bullshit. And this is what's
I agree with you. Yeah,
I mean, do you guys realize that this demo is running at 30 FPS at 1440p?
That's fine.
They're going to be 30 FPS games, man, on console.
No,
consoles are not ending 60 frames per second. I'll tell you that.
This is the problem. But they were trying out. They have every triangle was full. Look, they're trying they're trying a whole different aspect. With, like, if you see when they zoomed into the rocks, there was no formation, nothing changed. It stayed the same. That's so expensive to do. But what I want to say is, Epic. I mean, dude, the biggest. When you think of Epic Games and Unreal Engine 5 and PS5, you see how they partner that up. Unreal Engine 5, PS5.
Yeah, I know. You see it. Like, I see this thing trending. It says Epic Games shows off live.
Okay, so I posted my response to this show, and then dude just saying that it wasn't gameplay. What? Oh, Jesus. Guys, did you watch the show? Because they said it was a gameplay demo.
But it's not a real. It's a tech.
It's not
demo.
a game. It's a tech demo. It's a game.
Bro, they do this with every Unreal Engine demo. When they first revealed the demo.
Really? Are dudes really trying to damage controllers now? Oh,
yes.
God.
Go to Twitter, man.
Dude, they're coming at my
technically, it doesn't exist because of the tech demo. But that CGI of Scorn, that's hype.
Oh no!
I don't know why they're talking shit because the next Gears of War will be running on Unreal Engine 5. So I don't understand why they're running their mouth, because when you think of Unreal Engine, you think of Fortnite, you think of Gears has always been
Gears was a demo of Unreal 4, right? That was the whole thing. Unreal 3. Yeah, Gears 3, yeah.
They always use that engine, and it's an open engine. This is going to run on everything. They're just showing it all. You know what? This is the problem. Sony went all with the PS4, if you remember, and now the PS5. Sony wants to cater to the developers. What do they want? What do they need? What do you think would help improve what would be easy porting over games? They want to make it easy for the developer. That's why the developers are excited for the PS5, because they're working with it. They're not just saying we're going to build the most powerful console and you can do at it with that. No, they went to these developers and asked them, what do you guys want from us? What can we do? You want us to put a fast SSD, more RAM? You want us to use more memory? What do you want us to do?
Yeah, it's bad now. Dudes are flipping. I mean, granted, I do agree. I do agree with Merc though. He did say that this is something for games that are like we won't be seeing like to 2021 and stuff like that. That's true. But he's got a valid point there. But again,
Ryan, this engine.
Yeah, this engine is just.
This engine will work on everything.
But this engine, by the time it comes out, the whole making games 4 years, 5 years. So this engine, we won't see the real power of this engine. Fortnite is going to be ported over to Unreal Engine 5. You already know that.
Yeah.
Sure,
He said
my dude said this is not gameplay, but I'm like, bro, you hyped up.
No, this is gameplay of a tech demo. It's not a tech demo video. It didn't have a statement at the bottom. This is representative of what we think it's going to look like on the Series X.
Exactly.
That was, there was no bullshit at the bottom of this thing. This was like the gameplay of a tech demo, which is showing the capabilities of the machine, which was something that Microsoft teased last week. They teased like, oh, you want to see gameplay to show you Series X? Well, they showed you nothing last week. That was depressed everybody. They need to show something like this, even if it's not real. The thing is that this is a vision of what games will look like. Like last week, nobody was hyped for next gen. This thing makes people go, oh, I see improvements in this over what I'm playing right now. And that's it. Whether it's a tech demo or not, it's gameplay. It's not a video. That's the difference. And I don't care. Like, everybody does tech demos when they start their console and stuff like that. It's just you gotta show all this stuff running so you get. And this is also too for developers. Developers look at this and go, oh, I could do that in my game. I could do that in my game. It's a visual. And I think in the environment that we're in right now, this visual is more effective than tweets. And nobody's coming out and apologizing, going, guys, we're sorry, that was smoke and mirrors. Like nobody hyped this up. Sony didn't come out and saying, get ready to see gameplay from our system. There was no hype, nothing. We didn't even know this was a PlayStation anything relative. Epic made it a PlayStation thing. You know?
This
Epic made
demo
this PlayStation.
was created to show this running on the PS5. This engine is a next gen engine. That's what everybody should be excited for.
Is this 9.3 teraflops overclocked to 10? Like, oh no, like look at it. Where's the teraflop count in the corner? There isn't one. Fuck out of here with that bullshit.
Yeah, they got smoke.
Go watch last week's Inside Xbox and get hyped for Series X.
Oh, even Xbox.
Get off of Twitter.
We're upset about
That's Microsoft talking too much.
Yeah, it's Tim Dog, Kid Smooth. They're all pissed off. I mean,
oh man.
I mean, they're like, it was running at 1440p, 30 FPS. So what?
Well, we'll definitely have to see. I'm not sure the resolution. Again, I'm gonna have to wait for them to re-upload it and in the resolution. Because we're streaming it.
It was 30 FPS. I can just tell watching video. But if you don't believe me, go to Digital Foundry, put up a video. It's 1440, 30 FPS.
Oh, it's 30. It's 30.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sure, it's 30 because everything's turned on. Because we know if you want high frame rates, you got to compensate graphics, resolution, effects, all that other stuff. That's the realistic. That's why everybody running around going 4K 120. Eat a dick, because that's not happening.
What people are not considering is they're using a whole different tech. They're using a much more expensive technique. Like other developers don't have to go here with all these triangles and make everything at 8 textures. They don't have to do that.
Well, textures that were, that are going to be crunched down. That's why that game was looking so clean. And like Big Cloud said,
it's a visual showpiece. Yeah, you want to show all the visual, like the fancy lighting, all that other stuff. So obviously, you're not going to, show frame rate. Like the frame rate is going to be, and this is the thing. That's why with consoles, and even if you know PC and stuff like that, you have to compensate. It's a balance between quality of graphics and quality of effects and frame rate. Yeah, that's what it is. It's a give and take. You can, whatever you're satisfied with, that's going to be the balance. Like, do you want more peanut butter? Or do you want more jelly? What do you want?
This is great because it makes people excited. Look, there's going to be
I liked it
for each console. There's going to be.
I thought it was effective.
That's going to come out and be really like the Rise Son of Rome and the Killzone Shadowfall. There's going to be those one or two games that are on the console just to show off and be a technical show off for the console. It's going to happen. The first few games that come out for the PS5 and Xbox One are going to be like, wow. And they'll probably be at 30 FPS. I'm telling you, they probably will be just because they're trying to crank and sell the machine. Like, look at this fucking game, people. Wow. That's the unfortunate truth of marketing and getting people to buy, because you can't really market frame rate. I talked to my cousin, he's a casual gamer, he plays Call of Duty. I'm like, dude, you're playing on regular Xbox? He's like, yeah, what do you mean regular Xbox? I'm like, never mind, because they don't give a fuck, bro. They don't. Exactly. They just want to buy and play their favorite games. They don't care. They're not people in the chat room, and people like us. We're more aware of what's going on. We understand when the consoles are coming. We understand all the things and ins and out of the fucking machines. These casuals don't care. They don't. They just want to buy it. If they buy it.
Question: do you guys think in July anything that Microsoft has from their studios is going to look like this demo?
I don't know. I hope so.
You think Halo's going to look like this? Like, I know Halo's a real game, but the thing is that, again, Sony has thrown their shit out there now to be like, yo, this is like the potential next generation, and Microsoft's going to try to point off current gen games as next generation. I don't know. That's why we need next generation exclusive games.
The problem is PS4 games are looking better.
And that exactly that too. PS4 tomorrow we'll see, right?
I mean, they're mad as hell.
It's like a PS5 game, bro.
I mean, Blaze, they mad as hell. I say it was.
Oh man,
they are going nuts.
Dude, it's like,
oh my god!
Now people are going crazy saying it's marketing. Like, oh, this could run on an X. It's just the Epic is up Sony's ass.
No,
like,
yo, guys, word of advice to everybody in the chat. I don't know how many people watching. I'm not even looking at my stream. Hold on. I gotta switch back to the stream. I'm literally keep replaying this back.
To run on an Xbox, it's an engine.
It's engine. It's unreal.
Exclusive. Somebody's like, this is a exclusive. I'm like, this is not exclusive. It's just it's running on a PlayStation 5. This will run on an Xbox, but like the marketing is
so
is
to the 235
together,
people,
man.
if I was you, I'd stay away from Twitter.
Twitter's a fucking shithole, man.
It's bad enough dudes are trying to spoil The Last of Us in the stream for this dude for it.
I went on Twitter and said, Sony just did what Microsoft didn't.
People go fucking angry. It's a great performance representation. So it's 1440p 30. Okay, I'm looking at everything. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Brian, you think I'm gonna come in here and run?
No. I'm not talking about. No. I'm talking about this. What the listening? Because I'm reading the other detail here. So
I would think they would show this on the world's most powerful next gen console, right?
I don't know who Tim Sweeney is. He says calls the PS5 a remarkably balanced device. Confirms that.
We'll see though. What they have to fucking showcase for. I don't know when they're gonna do the other show, but June. But we'll see.
Like if Sony if they make an Epic show this stuff and saying PS5, you don't think Sony has games that are kind of approaching this level of visuals? Like you think Sony's gonna come out there and show Grounded or something like that? Like after they show this is the PlayStation 5 and be like, yeah, here's Grounded for the PlayStation 5. I bet you Sony's games look on the tail end of looking like this. Like even their current gen games look really impressive.
Yeah.
So like the thing is like Sony's not going to lead with this.
The
and the
question
Epic
is, why did they pick PS5 over Series X for this? That is a good question. I don't know.
According to them, it was because of the SSD. So
they were hyping up that SSD, man.
Yeah. That's a good question.
They were talking about that streaming, the SSD. They talked about, they were basically like a Cerny showcase right now today. Yeah. They were talking they weren't saying, and that's the thing, people are like, this is a third party. Why are you excited? I'm like, they did not say this is what next gen is going to look like. They were specifically saying PlayStation tech, PlayStation SSD. It was all PlayStation. It went beyond just slapping a PlayStation logo on this demo. This was more about the details of what the PlayStation is allowing them to do.
Dudes is losing their minds. Oh my god!
This wasn't like, oh, this is what next gen looks like. This is an Epic showcase. They did not do that. This was a PlayStation tease, a PlayStation 5 tease with Epic's engine running on a PlayStation 5.
So mad he's showing the elk. He said the PS5 would be revealed today. Like, come on, bro.
Well,
move over here losing his mind.
Jim's even advertising Popeyes.
All right, so let's definitely shut this down, man. Let's shut this down. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Glad we fixed the streaming issue. I'm glad that actually fixed it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. You got your first representation of PS5 with Unreal Engine 5 from over here. What you guys thoughts? Again, look good. I can't wait to see what the first party is going to look like and how they really push the system. But that's what we had to do there. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoyed the stream. I do appreciate you guys hanging out. From start to finish, it was fun. And now I gotta see dudes cry. I see grown men cry on the internet. This is gonna be even worse. Oh Lord, dudes is legit crying over my tweet now, and all I do is says my jaw dropped over the gameplay.
That's it.
That's all I said. Now they're just saying, no, that was not gameplay. There was no gameplay. I'm like, yeah, okay. So she's not. So they're not playing the character. They didn't say they were playing the character. Yeah, okay.
But Hellblade 2 that's real.
Yeah, Hellblade 2 is gameplay. That's what I'm gonna be playing when I play it.
An engine representation of Series X. We hope. It's like, okay.
Let's let everybody do their outros. Go ahead, Jez. You jumped in here.
Anyway, Jez7780 grinds my gears. You know where I am on YouTube. Thanks again. Talk to you guys later.
No problem. Craig.
Yeah, shout out to you. Shout out to Jez and Blaze for jumping on. Thanks for letting me hop on. Yeah, I'll podcast about this a little later on. This is, I mean, look, here's my advice. Don't argue with them. I'm going to drop a tweet that says, you guys have just taken an epic L. So just move on. Everything they said about PS5 was wrong, and people can just move on. I'm looking forward to the Ghost of Tsushima trailer tomorrow, the gameplay trailer. So, hit me up later on. Shout out to Big Cloud here, and check out Marlon Gaming Nation as well. He's a good dude.
All right, Blaze. Is Blaze there? What did he dip out? Blaze, he dipped out? Blaze?
He's mute.
Oh, he's mute. Oh, he definitely. All right, well, Blaze here. Shout out to Blaze for K. Check out his channel. And this Big Cloud Gaming. Shout out to everybody came through again. Hope you guys enjoy. Y'all be blessed. Y'all be easy. I'm going to see you guys, I think it's the exact same time tomorrow. But if not, the stream will be up anyway. We'll have the proper time of when it's happening. But tomorrow is PlayStation State of Play. We're going to see Ghost of Tsushima. I think it's 18 minutes of pure gameplay from that. And hopefully they'll announce something else there. We'll see. But so far, though, June, ladies and gents, June. Like I said before, PS5.
Iron Man got a release date for VR.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
I can't wait to see Gears 5 and shout out Chris. I see you trying to add this all this shit. But PS5 more likely again June again, hinting to June. So yeah, dudes who said PS5 is today. This is why I went into this with very, very super low expectations. And
in theory, they weren't 100% incorrect. We
got something PS5 related, but not the actual console itself. Like a lot of people say console.
That's why I said this is a little PS5 side boob. You didn't get the full boob, but you got side boob.
Yeah. Well, all right. Hope you guys have a good one. I'll see you guys tomorrow here on the channel. Glad everybody had a good time. See you guys later.